Welcome back to part 2 of closing costs. We're talking about what closing costs are and where they come from and how much they might be. So we're looking at other costs right now. We've talked about the loan costs, but other costs are going to include the property tax prorations, which we talked about in part 1, also homeowners insurance, and then if we go down into Section H, other, if there's an HOA, then you're going to pay an HOA transfer fee. There might be some upfront costs you'll need to pay regarding the HOA. And then if you're selling the home, then the commissions for the buyer's agent and the listing agent will be part of your closing costs as well. And now if we look at this other page of the statement, you've got some additional information up here. If you are the buyer, you've got the loan estimate that you may have received when you first reached out to the lender about the property when you applied, and then what the final numbers are. Sometimes those may change a little bit. Now, this will break it down a little bit further when you look at the summaries of the transaction. So it's going to show you the price of the property, the closing costs that you're going to be paying, and then it'll break down like you see in section I, your earnest money deposit, the loan amount that you're going to be getting from the lender, the any credits you receive from the seller as a result of inspections or anything else that you may have negotiated during the process, any adjustments, your option fee. If you're in Texas, you'll get that back at closing, and then the tax breakdown. And then on the other side, you can see the seller's transaction and kind of what they paid. But the important number is all the way at the very, very bottom. If you'll see cash to close, that will say from or to. In this case, since you're buying, it's money that's going to come from you and be paid to the lender and title company, whoever's owed that money. And that's your total cost. So for this particular home, the cost was $270,000 for the home. The closing costs ended up being around $29,000. Now that includes the down payment. So that's a hefty amount of money. So you've got to make sure that you're factoring that in when you are buying a home, as well as when you're selling the home. If you're expecting a certain amount back, you've got to factor in those closing costs, how much they're going to be. So the next video is going to be about how do you ask for your closing costs to be paid by the seller. So keep watching Nicole at HTX to learn more about that and the real estate process.